This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
This message is brought to you by Abercrombie Kids, where the activewear is made for every summer activity, so your mini-me can bring their personal best. Summer days are always an adventure, from day camp to rec leagues and pool days. Abercrombie Kids has the shorts, tees, and swim to keep them comfy and keep up with them. Get everything for the entire summer at Abercrombie Kids. Shop in-store, online, or in the app.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Frustrated Chicago Sports Channel, and we're talking Bulls today. Got my co-host Harry and JJ3. You out there? JJ3?
Yeah, I'm right here. I hate everything.
That is a terrible JJ3 voice. Please don't.
I hate everything. I hate everything.
JJ3 does tend to hate everything Chicago sports related, and I cannot blame him because they leave us they leave us in a state of hatred with their infuriating moves. Speaking of infuriating moves, the Bulls are heading into the offseason. And they're heading into the offseason with the 12th pick, not the number 1, not the number 2, not number 3. They lost a coin flip and they decided to win a bunch of meaningless games. Harry, have you been watching any NCAA basketball?
Yes.
Is there a guy at 12 that can make a difference for the Bulls?
No. That easy of a second.
Okay.
Well, let me phrase this. 12th, all you're going to get is guards and forwards, which Bulls are stocked with.
I can't say the Bulls are stocked anywhere.
We have
they have them
of guards.
Yeah, there's an overabundance, but is there an overabundance of quality? I do like Coby. I do like Ayo. Obviously, neither one of those are. I can't say they're franchise players or God deal. I mean, I think Coby is a great supporting player. Ayo, I think in an ideal situation would be your 7th, 8th man off the bench. You know, he's a versatile guard that can guard.
I'll put it right like this. Right now, from what I've seen, a lot of mock drafts, the Bulls are projected to get what's his name? He's from South Carolina. He's a power forward, but he's a small power forward. He's like 6'6", 6'7". When I say
that's what we need.
Guards, it's the usual Bulls approach. But there is a comparison, Asanul, if you watch Georgia. I don't know where these SEC schools came from. Ever since NIL, SEC schools are paying all their players way better than anyone else. But a Asanul from Georgia, another undersized player, he's a 6'9" center, which it depends on what we do with Vuk and Giddey. If we're moving Vuk, I could see us going for Asanul. If we're not moving Vuk, then I could see us getting Colin Murray. And then you've got Derek Queen from Maryland, who I thought would be a way later pick, who is also another undersized center at 6'9". A lot of these undersized centers are getting drafted in that 8 through 12, or undersized players in that 8 through 15 spot, and Bulls are stuck there with a guy that I don't think will change anything and keep us in limbo. Especially the way this game is kind of guard orientated. I don't understand what any of these centers are going to do as far as high impact to the league, let alone the team. Maybe we'll luck out and we'll draft Cooper Cup's teammate, Con Newpel, because Bulls have a history of Duke small forwards, and he was pretty decent, but I don't know if he'll be there by the 12th spot.
I fully expect the Bulls to take some foreign guy. I think I don't know what foreign guys available, but I got a feeling we're going to get some European guy. Um,
I mean, the only kind of European guy is my Illinois. Shout out to Illini basketball. Is Kaspers Jaksu. I think it's Jakusis or Jakustinas, some whatever stuff
mhm.
like that. But he's a guard. He's a 6'5" guard with a mean shot. But he's your typical what's his face from Atlanta. Well, he's a typical Bogdanovich. He's not anything like crazy where you're like, oh man, like he's gonna be a game changer. He's just a shooter. But we already got that in Porter. There's no one in this draft outside of from spots 4 to 15 that are going to be stars. Just a lot of support players, which we already have. And if we're going to draft another forward, which is fine, then that tells me the Dalen Terry experiment is over. And I forgot he was on the team. How long has he been on the team? Has it been a year, 2 years?
This will be year 3 for I think this is going into year 3 for Dalen. Is it not?
If so, the experiment's over because the position that we need to draft, if we're going to be drafting off position need, we should take a small forward. I mean, a power forward, which will probably be that one France guy that I can't pronounce his name, but his first name's Noah. But with the way France players are looking right now, France guys are the way to go. NOA,
I'm sorry. This is Dalen's 4th year.
right?
He is what he is at this point. He's
Yeah, the
22 years
Dalen
old. He'll be 23 in July. So he'll be 23. He's heading into his 4th year. He is what he is. This is who he
Well,
is as a player.
there's a lot of trash to clean up. If we're taking a power forward and we end up taking the Frenchman, that means we're done with Patrick Williams, which is very annoying after giving him $90 million to do nothing. If we're taking a small forward, the Dalen
Patrick
Terry,
Williams is very annoying.
absolutely, the Dalen Terry experiment is over because everybody forgot he was on the team and he's very easy to replace. But we do have a Buzelis that I think can make a great 2 or 3 because he's definitely better than Terry. I think we're gonna have to pick between Coby and Giddey. I'd rather go Giddey, especially if everyone else is specialized on the team. Giddey is the only one that does it all. And if we're gonna move Vuk, it's best to keep a large 6'7", 6'8" point guard that can also rebound because that's kind of the wave right now. Large point guards that can also rebound. But sadly, he can't shoot, but he can score. He can slash. So if we have to choose between Coby and Giddey, which it looks like that's what we're doing, I'd rather keep Giddey than Coby. Coby is great when he saw him on paper last year, but if you look at his overall numbers, he only got 20 points per game. He didn't get anything crazy that we can give up. It's not like he was a 25-point per game scorer, 30-point per game scorer, even though he did it in spurts. That's not the story for the entire season of guys like Coby. But Giddey, you're getting a guaranteed 15, 8, and 8, which is a great for a number 2 guy role player. We just don't have that number 1 star. Giddey's numbers are great next to a Shy, like you saw in OKC. Giddey's numbers are great next to a KD, next to a Giannis. But Kobe's numbers aren't really that great next to anyone. He's just a number 1 that gets to take a lot of shots. And even with taking a lot of shots, he only gets you 20 per game. I think Kobe's the odd man out if we have to choose between Giddey and Coby. I'd rather pick Giddey.
I don't know what the Bulls' plan is. I got to disagree. I'd rather take Coby than Giddey. I think with Kobe's skill set and ability to stretch the floor and shoot, I think he's integral to the modern game. So I think Giddey will give you 15, 8, and 8, like you said. He has that all around game. He's a good passer. He's a good ball handler. But with Giddey, to get those numbers, he needs to be ball dominant. He needs the ball in his hands a lot. And I feel as if I don't know if that will impede Buzella's process, but I feel like Buzella's is your highest hope, your centerpiece. We need him getting as many shots as possible. We need him developing as fast as possible. He needs to be on that fast track. I think he can develop faster alongside Coby as opposed to Giddey because he'll have the ball in his hands a lot more. I think I think Coby has shown the ability to. He's evolved in terms of he used to be kind of a rhythm shooter off the bounce, but he's been able to spot up in the corner. He's been able to spot up and get his points different ways, coming off screens. Um, Giddey's going to command what is it? Giddey's probably going to get. He's probably going to command 35 million this year in free agency. So you're looking at giving him a long-term deal of 4 or 5 years. What's that? 180, 200 million. I don't know if I'm comfortable giving Giddey that type of money and being tied to him long-term like that. So me personally, I would take Coby and post All-Star break. I know you said he only averaged 20 points, but post All-Star break, Coby's shooting the numbers, they were phenomenal. They were pretty good. And I think he averaged 28 points per game from that All-Star break. You got to also remember, for the first half of the season, he had to deal with the fluctuation in lineup. You know, you had Zach LaVine still there, so Zach taking up shots. So after Zach was moved, I think we saw Coby really flourish. So if it came down to Coby versus Giddey, I'm going Coby.
Yeah,
welcome back to the show, JJ3. Welcome back to the show. Can you hear us?
Well, T was making fun of you. I told him to stop, but he wouldn't stop. But I had your back. I had your back here. Anyway, back to the point. If Coby was getting 25, 30 points per game, taking all those shots, I'd be in full agreement because then I'd give him the title of pure scorer. That's what we need. But there's guys on the team where if you give them the green light, they would get the same 20 points per game, including Buzelis.
What guys are on the team?
Which guys are we talking about?
What guys are we talking about?
If you let Buzelis take as many shots as Coby, he could get the same 20 points per game. Coby is and also Coby is replaceable as far as league wide. You can find a CJ McCollum that can get Coby's numbers if you want a shot.
I don't think McCollum is playing at Coby White's level right now.
Coby White's level isn't all that great. 20.4 points per game.
Coby's a better player than CJ right now, bro.
19.1 points per game last season. The season before that, he only averaged 9. Coby has never averaged over 21 points per game, and the only time he got over 20 is one season. We are vastly overrating Coby. I mean, Coby should go cheaper given what he's done, but he won't go cheaper.
Time out.
Go for it.
Run that back again, what you just said.
Coby this season, 20.4 points per game is his season average. Last season, 19.1. The season before that, 9.7. The season before that, 12.7. The season before that, 15.1. He has never gotten over 21 points per game. And the closest he's gotten is this past season at only 20. Coby, by numbers, is very replaceable. I think we've got a bias because he's been on the team for a while. But end of the day, I think he should have got traded just like Zach. His numbers are replaceable league-wide. We don't need a Coby. He'd be great to keep because he's been on the team and he can score. But because Giddey gives us more overall with rebounding and assisting, especially when we don't know anything about Lonzo's health. He should have been gone. We might move Vuk. So a rebounding guard with no defined center that we'll have for the future makes a big difference. Helps our rebounding, helps our passing. I just to me, there's no real argument for Coby over Giddey outside of Coby shoots better, but so does Huerter, so does Buzelis. A lot of guys shoot better than Giddey, but Giddey scores better, and Giddey does more.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Giddey scores better than Coby is your argument? That's what your argument is right now?
No, my argument is Giddey does more. He rebounds, he passes, he's a better defender. He just doesn't.
I don't know if he's a better defender than Coby. I think he's
not.
Bigger,
his
more
defense
versatile.
is not. His defense is not even worth bringing up in this discussion.
How long has Coby been on the team? Since when does he do anything? If they both
Coby was on the team. Coby was on the team with DeMar and Zach for his entire career until this season.
Yeah.
So That's part of what you've seen in terms of his scoring volume.
And post All-Star break in March, Coby was giving you 27 points a game on 49.5 shooting from the field and 38% from three and 87.8 from the free throw line. I think you're underselling Coby White. I think shooting has become one of the most valuable commodities in the league. There are a lot of players in that Giddey mode that are ball dominant and who can put up numbers across the board. It's the usage for Giddey. Like, you got the ball in your hands all the time. You should be able to get 15, 8, and 8. I think that's a low bar to clear when you're the primary ball handler, especially in today's league.
In today's league, with the pace that the Bulls play at, the Bulls played at one of the fastest paces in the league for this past season. So that goes into it as well. There's no way, in my opinion, I was going to drop a joke in there, but I'm not going to do that about underage girls. So I'm going to keep it pushing. But hey, hold on now. We're going to keep the rig on the road. But no, like Giddey, you're overvaluing him and you're undervaluing Coby. I would say both players are equally replaceable if we being 100% honest. If I had to choose between one or the other, then yes, I'm going to 100% choose Coby White. If we being honest, I mean, I'm just going to keep it a stackage. There's not enough reason for me to look at Josh Giddey's statistical output in this offense and rate his 7 rebounds and whatever assists. Come on, man. I'm not looking at that and I'm about to pay him $20 million a year. It's not happening.
It's the Giddey price is going to start at 30. I think
and I'm not paying it. I'm not paying it. We need to treat Josh Giddey. Hold on. We need to treat Josh Giddey
contract.
We need to treat Josh Giddey and players of Josh Giddey's ilk the way NFL teams need to start treating some of these mediocre quarterbacks. Say goodbye to them dudes. Let them walk out the door and draft the next guy. There's no reason to pay Josh Giddey $30 million a year. There's no reason for it. He's not a superstar player worth that money. And even at the floor, I'm not going.
In my head, everything else said, replace Giddey with Coby. And you've got the same concept because I'm not paying Coby
again
anywhere near $30 million a year for 20
can replace everybody on the roster. I'm cool with scrapping every single player on this team, throwing them all in the trash.
I'm cool with scraping every player and everybody in the front office at this point.
All of them, too. Like I said on the other, burn it all down.
We had half a season of Giddey, and we got and his numbers second half were way better than the first half. Just like Coby White, he went crazy the second half. But I will say this: we've had Coby for about 6 seasons and have had the same results over and over and over. So because of that too,
what was the makeup and the composition of the roster?
I'm right, but I'm very okay with letting Coby because it's not like Coby here has done anything as far as gotten us to play off the hill. Coby, I think, has hit his ceiling here. I don't think Giddey has hit his ceiling.
And what's Josh Giddey's ceiling?
That's the question I was going to help. What is Giddey's ceiling?
I think Giddey's ceiling is 20, 10, and 9.
Okay. Here's the thing, Harry. Numbers aside, because numbers can be cute. I think we've seen Zach have a season where he was top 10 in scoring. He averaged 25, 26 points a game. We've seen DeRozan average 27 a game. Numbers are cute. What are these numbers impacting though? To say, what does Giddey impact? Are you able to build around Giddey? Is Giddey able to be the second best player on a contender?
I said that earlier. I think Giddey can be the second best player on a great team. I don't see
on a great team.
On a great team, I can see Giddey.
A great team.
He is not a number one.
Okay, Harry. Time out, Harry. Time out. When we talk about great team, in my mind, when I talk about a great team, I'm thinking of a team that's 60 wins and above. Either is ending their season sometime in June or late in May. That's the finals.
We got the easy argument right now.
So you're saying Giddey
right now.
So wait a minute. You're saying Giddey can be the second best player on a 60-plus
team.
If he was the second best player, they wouldn't have let him go. He was not the second best player on OKC. That was
The
Jalen
argument
Williams.
is right
don't know
there.
why they let him go.
OKC is in the finals right now. OKC has 65 wins, 3 wins
Yeah.
away from the championship. They
Giddey
traded
was
Josh
on the bench
Giddey
last year
for
in the
Caruso.
playoffs.
Giddey didn't even see the court.
Second best player on the Thunder last season in the season.
He was not the second best
He
player
was
on the
not the
Thunder. He
second best
wasn't even
player
the
on the
fourth
Thunder.
best player on the Thunder last season. That's why he
No,
didn't
sir.
get any run.
Last season.
He didn't get any tick last season, even with Chet Walker being injured. Not Walker, but even with Chet
Jalen
Holmgren being
Williams.
injured.
Jalen Williams not the second best player last year.
Jalen Williams was the second best player on that
Listen,
team
bro.
last year. And in terms of being effective and complimentary around SGA, Dort and who was my other man? Dort was way more effective in the lineup than Giddey was. And that's why Giddey was on the bench come playoff time.
Ball out. Giddey doesn't. They still won 57 games with Giddey last season. This season, we got Giddey half of this season. Half of those 67 wins were when Giddey was on the team. Well, this season's also when they kind of isolated them out, so I don't know how much I count for this season. But last season, they got 57 games with Giddey. Like, I don't know why we're
Again,
and they're much better with Giddey off the team.
Completely flawed. You just said
they're much
Giddey
better
could
with
be
Giddey
the
off the
second
team.
best player on a great team. Oklahoma City is in the finals right now. They're putting together what can be considered a great run, potentially to the championship. They traded Giddey for Caruso. Why was Giddey not the best player on the Thunder last year, and why did they let him go?
I can't tell you why they let him go. The Suns are going to let.
I can tell you why they didn't.
I can tell you. Yeah.
I can tell you why they didn't keep him, because clearly he wasn't the second best player on the team.
We move Zach. Is Zach now bad? Like, what are we doing? Why are we trading him? Why people get traded?
Okay, let me answer that for you. Let me answer that for you. We moved Zach because we're going nowhere with Zach.
Okay.
OKC was going places without Giddey. He was not a necessary component of that team. That's why he's not on that team anymore. It's not that Zach is bad. It's that Zach was getting paid to be a superstar, and Zach isn't playing like a superstar. He was getting was Zach getting max money, near max money? Whatever the case, what Zach was max money. Zach was getting paid to have a team contend in the playoffs, and that wasn't happening. So that's why Zach's not here. Giddey is about to get paid, and Giddey is not about to be worth that pay. Now, I admit, I got caught up into the Giddey. I got caught into the Giddey hoopla too.
What would y'all pay Giddey in this current NBA economy? Not what we want to, where we want to pay everybody $15 million, you ain't a superstar. But in this current NBA economy, where even the seventh man is getting $25 million, what would you? So
here's my thing. I'm not saying Giddey isn't entitled to get what he's asking for based on Jalen Suggs is getting exactly not for my team. I don't want to be the one to pay Giddey a 5-year deal worth between 35 and 40 million. I just don't want to do it. Is Giddey worth that based on other contracts? That's debatable, and it's a very strong argument. Jalen Suggs getting 34 million. I think Pat's getting 20-something million. So based on market value, yeah, Giddey's worth between 25 and 38 million. I just don't want to be the team to pay Giddey because we've seen these contracts hamstring these teams. Suns are burdened with Bradley Beal. I don't want to be.
Y'all have Reinsdorf PTSD. We've paid our players.
Got nothing to do with Reinsdorf. It's got nothing to do with Reinsdorf in this time.
No, sir.
Is a lot. Like you said, Jalen Suggs is getting 30 million. It's not a lot.
I'm not saying it's a lot. I don't want to give it to Giddey, though. I don't want to give it to Giddey.
It doesn't matter who else is getting what. I don't want to be the person or the team that gives him that money for the Bulls. The Bulls need hold up. The Bulls need to pick a direction and settle on a direction. And that direction needs to be to rebuild this roster from the ground up.
Yeah, with
signing Josh Giddey to $35 million a year does not help you do that.
Wait, are we going further in hell? Because that's the only direction we're going with the 12th pick in the draft.
That's
you're in hell right now.
You're in hell right now.
You're already in hell. You've been in hell for the last 5 or 6 years. You in hell. Paying Josh Giddey only perpetuates the same flaws in the system. Don't keep giving him more money.
I think we're in the limbo free agents. We need a star free agent to get on the team to get back in.
And so your star free agent is going to say, you know what? They just gave Josh Giddey $35 million. Let me ride over there to Chicago.
Let me ask you.
nothing in today's
So
market. 35
well, it
million.
doesn't matter if it's nothing. If I'm Giannis, and I've been talking all this talk about, oh, Chicago this, Chicago that, Chicago is dope. Oh, the Bulls, Michael Jordan, Blase, Skippy Woo. If I'm Giannis and I'm saying I'm gonna go to Chicago, Josh Giddey is the reason I'm going to Chicago
I don't know if Josh
to play
Giddey
with
has to
Josh Giddey.
go to Chicago, but
You
I mean,
said Josh Giddey can be the second best player on a great team. Is Giannis looking at Josh Giddey saying he can be the second best player on a great team? I'm gonna play with him.
I don't know what Giannis is
No,
looking at.
the
But I know
answer is no.
Chicago,
The answer is unequivocally no.
it's a game.
There's no chance. There is no chance. Name me all the great players in the NBA right now. Give me the top 5, 10, 15, 20 players. Which one of those players would line up to say, I'm going to go play with Josh Giddey? That's going to be my number 2. That's my running mate right there. Me and Josh Giddey paired up on the squad, championship. Who's doing that?
I don't know, but what I do know is a league.
Who's pair me up with Josh Giddey? We gonna run. We gonna win the division. We gonna win 60 games. Who's saying 60 games with me and Josh Giddey? Who's doing that? Who's doing it? Clap with me. Who's doing it? I want to know. I want to know. Who is it? Who's the superstar that's saying me and Josh Giddey, we making a run? We winning the division.
Shy, but he's not leaving Thunder.
Is Anthony Edwards saying me and Josh Giddey gonna make something happen? Is Jokic saying me and Josh Giddey gonna make magic?
Because for some odd reason, y'all think there's a bunch of players that are all gonna come to the Bulls if Josh Giddey's going. Who is the player going to come to the Bulls with Josh Giddey or anyone on there? The current roster on there right now. Who is going to come to the Bulls?
Nobody. That's my point. Nobody is looking at the Bulls roster with Josh Giddey, without Josh Giddey, and saying, I need to go to Chicago. That's part of the problem. That's why you're still in limbo. That's why you're still in hell. That's why you need to tear it down and rebuild it back up. That's why they should have tanked already, so they could have ended up with the number 1 pick in the draft.
What does tearing down the roster do? Tell me the reason.
It allows you to start over and build the team back up. The Bulls are continuously stuck in the middle. They're not good enough to attract free agents. They're not bad enough to get good draft picks. The Bulls are in the same spot as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Ooh,
you can make the playoffs every year, but you can't advance. You can't draft a good quarterback because you're always in the playoffs. You're always picking 25 or 22 to 25. You're always picking in that same middle ground range, so you can't get a great quarterback for Mike Tomlin. It's the same thing with the Bulls.
You know what the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting the same
That's
results.
what the Bulls are doing.
That's what the Bulls are doing.
That's what the Bulls are doing.
That's what burning this shit to the ground and restarting again does.
They haven't done that though.
How many times are we gonna have to keep burning to the ground and restart? You know what this what is it called? This I guess limbo that we're in. It should be the part where we go after a big free agent and bring them over. That's what good teams do. You don't need to burn everything to the ground. You need to see.
Are the Bulls a good team?
We're in that limbo where we add a star, we could potentially be a playoff team. You don't have to
Are the Bulls a good team?
Around every 4 years, we're a limbo team, which is
so you're not a good team.
Not good, not bad.
Okay, so you're not a good team, right? If they're in limbo, then they're not good.
Where the Heat are, or where every limbo team is, and now it's a question of: do you add a star to take yourself above limbo, or do you burn everything to the ground and hope one day you turn into the Spurs, who, mind you, still haven't made playoffs? Like, we can't keep burning everything to the ground every 3 years and expect a different result. I'm tired of burning everything to the ground.
We do not compare to the Spurs. They got a centerpiece future.
When was the last time the Bulls burned it to the ground here?
Arguing that, but they had to burn everything to the ground to get here, and even the year hasn't done anything. Wembanyama can't stay healthy. They haven't made playoffs. There's a rumor that they pretty much have KD, but it has to happen first for me to believe it.
You comparing us to the Spurs? I am envious of the Spurs. We are not the Spurs.
The Heat than the Spurs. I'm just giving Spurs an example of a team. They got a number 1 pick.
You, sir, are delusional.
Heat are in limbo. Heat aren't in limbo? You think Tyler Hero and Bam are going to carry the Heat anywhere? They're in the same limbo.
He have shown the ability to build a winner. When's the last time we've won anything or been significant or been relevant?
You're not speaking on right now. Heat without Jimmy Butler are the Bulls. They're in limbo. Tyler's not taking them anywhere.
The Heat without Jimmy Butler spanked the Bulls.
Taking them anywhere. That's fine, but they're
They
still, you may call them
All
you
right.
may call them higher tier of limbo, but they're still in limbo. We're
Okay, so
just
hold up. Time out. Pause, flag on the play. You know what I'm saying? Rough the passer, clip it, all of that. Hold up. Harry,
Yeah.
my question for you is, when was the last time the Bulls burned it all down?
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Or when did we trade Jimmy? Does that count?
Trading Jimmy was burning it all down?
That was 2017. That was about 2017, 2018. I'll give you that. They burned it down. They
so
did.
If we saying when they traded Jimmy is when they burned it all down, and if we're saying that was 2017, 2018, we in 2025 right now. So you're talking 8 years ago. That's the last time they burned it all down.
Yeah, that's when they traded. Yeah, they traded Jimmy for Levine, and then they got Minnesota a lottery pick, and they drafted Laurie.
Yep.
Right.
So
they
again,
drafted Laurie.
That's 8 years ago.
They got Chris Dunn.
That's not
Levine.
every 3 years.
Yeah.
That's 8 years.
Yeah, that's not.
You ain't burned it down. You ain't started over in 8 years.
Fair enough, but then I'll ask you guys this: what gives you guys this confidence that this front office knows how to build anything, or the next front office knows how to build anything, or this ownership knows how to hire any front office that knows how to build anything? When a lot of the scapegoat for a lot of these bad front offices are just get superstars when you're in limbo. So I don't trust the ownership,
Harry.
I don't trust the front office, but I do trust getting the superstar acquisition that can get us out of limbo. And whether it's short term or long term, that's the only thing proven to work for teams that I don't think the ownership is that great unless they cheat like the Lakers. It's get a couple superstars if you can get a couple superstars. It only takes one.
But Harry, why do you think this team can acquire superstars? I've been a Bulls.
I think it's embarrassing.
They drafted Jordan, they drafted Rose. But when has that ever landed the Tim Duncan, the Tracy McGrady's, the Grant Hills, the LeBron James, the Dwayne Wades, the Chris Bosh? When is that ever? Why do you need? You're living in.
We're the third biggest market.
Because we want to win.
Third biggest market in the league, and we act like a small ball team. We should be like the Knicks and go after the Karl Anthony Towns. Trade for the Jalen Brunsons. They didn't draft either or, and look where they're at now. I just hate how we're a big.
I agree with that, but
I agree with that too. But that's a separate argument.
The star that we draft should be coming as a potential third star, like a Buzelish should be a third star because we already have two superstars. We shouldn't have to burn.
I would love that
for drafting. I just don't think we have the front office that has the balls to do that. But I also
but I think we all agree on that though. So let's not conflate multiple arguments. I think we all agree on that point. None of us trust the Bulls front office. None of us trust the Bulls ownership. Me and Q already said, get rid of all of them. They can all ride out. I don't want them around. I don't want AK. I don't want Eversley. I don't want a single Reinsdorf running any of my sports teams. They all can go.
Unless Reinsdorf has a package deal to sell the Sox and the Bulls to the Ishbas.
He's never doing that. I wish, but he's never doing that. So we already know that part's not going to happen. They're going to keep the Bulls no matter what goes on. The Bulls going to be in the Reinsdorf family until, I don't know, the year 3000 or so. They're not letting that cash cow go. The way Bulls fans pack the United Center, they're not letting it go.
Last time I remember a real superstar coming to Chicago was when Carmelo Anthony came to visit. even though there's rumors of Giannis visiting, I don't think he'll choose us. But when Carmelo Anthony came to visit and we threw out the red carpet and he still went to Knicks for the money instead of going to Bulls for the win, his dumb ass. But I just don't think we go after the guys that we should.
I actually forgot all about that, the Carmelo free agency recruit. I actually did forget.
No.
Funny thing is, we actually traded for Carmelo and had him for a day. But I think Carmelo chose New York because he's from New York, though.
Well, part of the reason he didn't come here is because there was the beef between Tibbs and Garpax. That's part of the reason he didn't come here too, along with the money.
If we're
and with being in New York, I think isn't he from New York?
Baltimore. He's from Baltimore.
But
okay.
There's New York ties there. That East Coast ties as well. He talked like a New York guy. He don't even talk like he's from Baltimore.
Right. Yeah, he don't say two. So that's how you can tell Baltimore dudes.
Them Baltimore brothers, they accent is heavy.
But I don't know if we need better on the Bulls or what do we need. I'm not even saying. I'm not even saying. Let me do a baseball comparison. I'm tired of baseball. Every time there's a free agent, you get 4 teams that are going after those big free agents. It's always Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, and then every once in a while Angels. They're the top 2 biggest markets in the country. We're the top 3 biggest market in the NBA. Every time there's a free agent coming out, it's always Lakers, Knicks, and then somehow Heat get in the way, and they skip the 3rd biggest market to go all the way down to Miami, which is like the 10th biggest market. It shouldn't be like that.
Listen,
I'd at least have my hat in every.
You preaching to the choir, but that's a separate argument, though.
We agree with that. I agree with that. I think JJ3 agrees with that. None of what you're saying justifies bringing Giddey back for $35 million and keeping this core together.
I say all that to say, any potential stardom that we can get, we have to keep, because this ownership isn't going to recruit any big names. If we can keep Giddey at only 30 per is tradable in today's NBA. If he doesn't pan out, that's fine. If we don't get anyone else to attach Giddey and make Giddey star number 3, star number 2, and then even fall down worse than star number 3, that's fine. But 30 mil per is tradable for Giddey's numbers, is all I'm saying. Coby at 30 mil per is tradable.
Harry, right now, and I'm not making any light or joke of this, with what's going on in the current climate with the Giddey cat, you sound like a battered domestic partner. You sound like a battered partner that says he hits me sometimes.
Yeah,
he hits me, but it's better than the alternative.
Absolutely.
I get my ass beat every night. But it's okay because she loves me. She loves me. She hits me. Harry, no, this is about you. Harry, it sounds like you're saying she hits me every night, but she loves me, and it could get worse.
But
I've got a full stomach, and I've got a roof over my head, so I'm okay with this. That's what you sound like.
Hey, I see my friends in this dating pool. I see my Cleveland Brown fans in this dating pool. I see my Toronto Raptors fans in this dating pool, and you know what happens? It is terrible. It is terrible.
Harry,
I got over my head.
Listen to me. Listen to me, King. You deserve peace. You deserve happiness, King. You don't deserve what the Bulls are giving to you. You deserve better. You deserve to root in May and June. You deserve that, King.
I love it. Well, all right. So that's where our impasse is. I'm the guy who feels like Bulls can't do better, so we got to keep what we have. And y'all like burn everything down because Bulls can't do better. I don't trust the process of burning everything down with this team. I don't. Honestly, the Knicks realize burning everything down doesn't work. Let's just go after free agents and Brunson and Cat and overpay and trade where we can. And I'm like, yo,
listen, sir. I don't trust the Bulls front office either, but I know where this leads to. I know we're signing Giddey, re-signing Giddey, and leaving this core together. I know where this leads to. Unless somehow Buzelis becomes a superstar, we know where this is going, Harry. This is going to the play-in, and eventually you won't even make it to the play-in. Unfortunately, we keep making it to the play-in.
Dirk Nowitzki all of a sudden. Like, you're not going anywhere with it.
Buzelis, Giddey, add a 3rd star. I really don't want Beal. I don't count Beal as a star. But add
in your opinion,
please don't bring Beal. Please don't say that.
It's a Bulls front office. I can see them adding Beal for a year just with the salary cap relief. His final year.
God
It is
no.
Bulls
God
What
no.
again? What's the purpose of that though?
You said what?
What would be the purpose of that?
Well, the final year is how teams get cap relief. Like if we have too much cap, you get a player with a big contract on his last year, and then all that comes off the books for us. A lot of people will trade for Beal his final year, just not any year before that. It's cap relief for whatever team that needs cap relief.
So when I asked what's the purpose of that, I didn't mean from the financial contract breakdown point of it. Why would the Bulls do that from a basketball perspective on the court? How is that going to help them on the court?
Because if Donovan somehow, because Donovan has some kind of blackmail on the ownership, if Donovan's still there, I could see them going after Beal just to go after Beal, just to get a start. Because that's all Beal is now, barely starter level. I could see them going after Beal because of cap relief, and then he can put up numbers at shooting guard that we might need, but it doesn't move the needle. But that's such a.
I'm sure.
But why do I need him at shooting guard if I got Coby?
Exactly. And what would you want? Furthermore, why would you want Bradley Beal taking shots and development away from the young guys you have on the team? The Bulls need to be doing everything they can to develop Matas Buzelis. Whether I believe he's a star or not, you better find out what he is, and you better find out quick.
And what do you believe Buzelis' ceiling can become?
I think in my head it's 25 points per game, but who knows if he really develops into a KD clone? I'm not mad at 28 to 30.
KD,
you got high expectations, brother.
I'm a homer. I have to. I'm not
going to compare KD clone.
I'm not
Listen, I love it too.
He said a KD clone. No, I don't know if I can get over that part of it right there. A KD clone.
A KD clone?
Is there another KD in the league that we talking about? You mean Kevin Durant or you mean somebody else?
Ellis is like what, 6'9", 6'10", with a nice little jumper.
There's a lot of 6'9", 6'10" players in the league right now with decent jumpers.
Buzelis' game is smooth. He makes it work.
Are you talking about Kevin Durant when you say KD?
Absolutely.
Easy money sniper Kevin Durant. Played for
KD came into the league,
the Thunder and the Warriors. Kevin Durant currently plays on Phoenix. Kevin Durant. That's what we're talking about.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but KD came in the league giving 20, right? He was giving people buckets.
Yeah, something like that.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I know Kevin Durant gets a lot of hate, but he was one of them ones. Saying Buzelis can be a Kevin Durant
is one of the ones.
Come on, man.
Crazy. Don't put that on the young man.
That's crazy. Of all the comparisons you could have made, you went right to that one.
I have high expectations. The highest.
Okay.
Compared to
those are unrealistic expectations.
Highest expectations.
Those are unrealistic expectations. I have not seen enough from him in his rookie season to leap to Kevin Durant. It would be amazing if that happened. If he becomes Kevin Durant, yeah, that'd be wonderful. We would all take it, but I don't foresee that at this point.
KD shot 29% from three his rookie year. Buzelis shot.
Don't cherry pick numbers. Give them all to me. Don't
37% his rookie year. I see you, Buzelis.
Sir, don't cherry pick numbers. Give them all to me, please. Don't cherry pick.
9.6 coming off bench. I see you, Buzelis. 1 assist, but only 4 rebounds at 6'10", 6'10". Let me go to KD. Let me go to KD. All right, KD shoot 29% his rookie year, but he averaged 20.3 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. So Buzelis is only like 9 points under. It's only 9 points under.
Only. Yeah.
He gets the minutes up.
He only show about almost 10 points a game, sure. No problem.
Coming off bench, he still gets the same rebounds and assists. He gets more minutes, that'll increase the scoring, and he'll get more rebounds.
Listen, if Buzelis can be a modern-day Tony Kukoc, I'd be happy. I'd be happy with that.
Tony is so overrated, but that's neither here nor there.
Listen,
Overrated.
I'd be happy
Okay.
if I'd be happy if Vazelis was giving us 18 per game. I'd be happy with that. That'd be a win.
Straight up.
See that happening next 2 years. If not next year, definitely the year after. I'm telling you, I am high on.
You gotta hold your horse on that one.
I am such a homer.
No,
I am high on my Bulls.
No, that's fine because
Harry,
your feet gonna get
you're
held to
just
the
high.
fire.
Period. I don't know if you're high on Vazelis, Harry. I don't know if you're high on Vazelis or what you're high on. You're just high. Period.
On Vazelis because he can't be. He's not as bad as the Dale and Terry experiment's over. That's done for. We don't need to see Dale and Terry anymore. It was a good run. I appreciate his contributions to our limbo team, but he's got to go. So Vazelis will get full reign at the small forward spot with Dale and Terry done stealing minutes.
Patrick Williams' experiment should be over too, but unfortunately,
the who?
Patrick Williams.
Oh no, we were talking about that because the draft.
How many more years are left on that contract?
He just
2
got it
million.
like a year ago. Why did we give him $90 million? I don't understand giving him $90 million.
And that question right there is the same question you're gonna be saying about Josh Giddey. Why did we give him 120? Why did we give him $270 million? What did we do that for? That was stupid.
Isn't even tradable. Like, how is Patrick Williams? Patrick Williams is not tradable at all. I don't understand. We got Julian Phillips, but he's okay.
Harry, when you give Giddey $35 million, he won't be tradable either.
In today's market, 30 to 35 is very tradable. The superstars are getting 50 and up. 30, 35 is he'll get 30 probably. 30 is tradable. 25 is 10th man on bench that barely plays. It's a different NBA.
No, it's not 10th man.
No, it's not 10 man.
No, and Bradley Beal, sir, Bradley Beal is a decorated all-star, and he's not tradable. And what is he making?
I think Beal's making past. Let me see. I think Beal's making
about 50, 45,
something like that. But that's what gets to my point. It's the 40 and up that's not tradable. That's hard to trade.
I can't see anybody wanting to acquire Giddey when he's making $35 million a year for what he does. Giddey is not a rim protector.
30 mil a year today is what 15 and 20 used to be as far as
I agree with that, but I'm just saying what would a team want to acquire Giddey for?
Be their third guy or fourth guy to contribute with slashing the score, rebounds, and assisting. With Giddey's numbers, they're very tradable. I don't understand the hate for Giddey's numbers as far as tradability.
I have no hate for Giddey. I just have realistic expectations for the Bulls, and I know how this goes.
Bradley Beal
they would want him to be a third or fourth scorer, but you said he'd be the second best player on a great team.
You don't have to be the second best scorer to be the second best player. But Beal is making $53 million this season. Oh my God.
In today's NBA, who is not the first or second scorer on a team, but is not the second or best player? I'm trying to understand.
I would argue Westbrook is the third best player on Thunder, but not the third leading scorer. I mean,
he's not on the Thunder anymore.
He's not the.
That's why
I know you meant the Nuggets, but he's not the third best player. He's not the second best player on the Nuggets.
I didn't say second. I said third.
That's Jamal Murray.
I didn't say second. I said third.
No, it's
he's
Gordon or
he's
Porter.
Not the third best player either.
Then I would say
he's not the fourth best player either.
I would argue Zubac is the third best player on the Clippers, but not the third highest scorer. Norman Powell would be the third highest scorer. It goes Claw.
The same Clippers that let Russell Westbrook go, though. That's the same Clippers we're talking about.
Those Clippers. 2 guard heavy. Was Westbrook bad on the Nuggets? Oh, but actually, while we're here, since we're talking about free agents anyway, let's talk about which free agents that can even help the Wolves. Not that we're going to get them.
Yeah, let's discuss that.
Christmas wish list. What free? Because I know I'm going to start. What free agents can help the Bulls right now, and why is it anyone with an all-star?
Okay, who is available in free agency? Because the market right now is about Durant and Giannis and them being moved. Who is even out in free agency right now? I didn't think it was a good free agent class.
All right, so we're not going. Who are we getting? Stars we're trading for? Just free agent class. Free agent class coming up.
Either or available players. Free agent trades. I mean, players players get moved so often in the NBA offseason.
Let me name the list. Even though it's unrealistic, I'm just naming the list. I'm not saying we'll get them. I'm just naming the list. LeBron James, Van Fleet, Kyrie, James Harden, Chris Middleton, Julius Randle, John Collins, Brook Lopez, Clint Capella, Miles Turner, D'Angelo Russell, Naz Reid. I'm just naming names notable that yeah, maybe. Mortice Wagner, the other Wagner brother, not the good one. Al Horford, Kelly Oubre, Jeff Green.
Okay, you can stop naming names of those names. Well, LeBron is re-signing with the Lakers. I think that's pretty apparent.
Right.
Kyrie is going to be out for the entire year or the majority of the year. If you gave me a wish list of players on that list, it would probably be Naz Reid, just because he's a mobile big, a guy who can over who?
Over John Collins and Randall?
Yeah, I would take Naz Reid, because I think he'd be most effective for what you're going to get paid. Julius Randle is a good ball player, but you see his limitations every playoff. I mean, he's a undersized power forward. He dominates the middle of the floor. He's kind of a volume shooter at that position, and he's not a plus defender. So, yeah, and I wouldn't want Julius Randle. We're not in position where Julius Randle would necessarily help us. All he can do is take shots away from Buzelis. And like I said, I'm not certain Buzelis is a star, but the Bulls need to find out what he is, and they need to find out right away.
I don't disagree with your point. The only reason it's Naz Reid is because we've seen different strides in Timberwolves offense, not just this season, but every single series during the playoffs, where if Ant couldn't score, no one else could score. And it definitely wasn't Naz Reid stepping up. I think he's a great role player at best. And if you're just going for a role player, maybe starter, I'm not mad at Naz Reid. Hell, most of this list that I named is more role player starters than any star. From this list, if I were to pick one role player that I think would help us, this is me assuming we're moving Vuk. That's low cost, that would play his position. I am not mad at getting Miles Turner or Clint Capella. I think if we just needed rebounding and dunks and maybe some defense, they bring that. We wouldn't get the stretch shooting anymore with Vuk, but I don't think Vuk is that great a stretch shooter anyway, to where we lose much on this team. So if it's a free agency move and we're moving Vuk, I'm not mad at getting Clint Capella or Miles Turner as just a replacement starter.
I would definitely take Miles Turner. I forgot you named him. I would definitely take Miles Turner. I don't see Indiana letting him go after the success they had. I would take Miles Turner. I would take Naz Reid. I would take a flyer on Clint Capella, just because we've been lacking that defensive presence at the rim for so long. So I know Clint Capella comes with some limitations. I would take him though.
And then why do I feel like Bulls already had John Collins? I don't know why. But John Collins is because we don't have a traditional power forward. And Patrick Williams ain't it, but that's my dark horse. But JJ3, I can read the list again, or what free agent from this list?
No, I actually agree with the names that were already mentioned. I don't have a problem with any of those names specifically. I think before you start pursuing free agents or debating on which free agents the Bulls should pursue, you need to pick a direction. So for me personally, again, my direction for the Bulls is tear it all down, start over from scratch, build it back up through the draft. So at that point, I'm looking for not a high-priced veteran. I'm looking for a guy who can mentor some of the younger guys, teach them how to be good pros, slide in where, pause just in case, slide in where there might be some weaknesses or deficiencies on the roster. A Clint Capella could do that for me. Brook Lopez potentially could do that for me. Guys that might be willing to just come in. They've had their success. They're just willing to accept the contract and just be mentor type of players. Harry, you want the Bulls to, stay where they at, basically. So for you, I think the better names would obviously be the Nas Reeds, the Miles Turners, etc.
Julius Randle.
The Julius Randles. Like, those are the guys that would more so fit what you're looking at, guys that would be higher volume level players, get more shots, get more minutes, have a lot of opportunities to score at a veteran level, keep their stocks high in the end, keep us in the play-in, maybe get traded or something like that. That's just
keep people coming to the United Center.
Keep people coming to the United Center for game 83 and 84 at the end of the year in the play-in, so they can have that one more, because that's all they really care about. They want one more home game. That's it. Instead of being good enough to have lengthy playoff runs, which is what good, smart, intelligent, healthy organizations would do.
No.
Do the opposite.
That's what small markets do when they ain't got the big balls that a big market like Chicago does. And we have to stop playing. We have to stop moving like a small market. I hate our small market mentality. We should be the Lakers.
We're not arguing that, though. We're not arguing that, though. You don't got to preach to me about that. I'm already in the choir. You ain't got to preach to me about that.
Never got or did anything with.
I'm with you on that part of it, though. That's the point. Me and Q are with you on that part. That's not the issue.
Okay, fellas, I wanted to ask you all about the East and where the Bulls' outlook is next year. Assuming they bring back the same team, which would make Harry ecstatic, having Giddey back. We saw Jason Tatum go down. He's going to be out for the entire year. We don't know what's going to happen with Milwaukee. Giannis could be out of there. He could be out west. We don't know where he's going to be. As far as the Cavaliers, there's been some rumblings that they may move Allen or Mitchell or Garland. We don't know what they're going to look like last year after being eliminated in the second round. Do you think the Bulls can be in that top six next year if they kept this core together and added somebody at 12 who can make some type of impactful minutes?
Yes, because not because the Bulls are that great. We know they're a limbo team, but the East is so wide open. And if you look at the rosters, like you said, Tatum's out for the Celtics. I think Mitchell might be on his last year. I don't think he got an extension, so he might be gone for the Cavs. I have to look that up. Don't quote me on that. Pacers are going to still be the Pacers. Pistons are coming up. Magic, but outside of that, the other middle teams are in limbo with us. And the Atlanta Hawks, the Heat, the Bucks, if they lose Giannis. But even if they keep Giannis, it's not like they were that great this season. And Dame might be out for the next season. So the East is really
he's probably going to be out next year.
Yeah, the East.
Well, I would assume the Magic are the next team to take a little leap.
And that's only 5 teams that I named that have the leap potential in Pistons, Magic, Pacers, Knicks, and I guess Celtics. But everyone assumes they're going to break up. I haven't heard any official word, but I expect them to as well.
To be fair, even without Jason Tatum, and even maybe without Kristaps, who might get moved, I still think the Celtics are a better team than the Bulls, as is.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying the East is still pretty wide open. And if there's a time for a bubble team to make a move to get over that bubble, it's really right now in a weak East. And if the East gets stronger and we're a bubble team, I'm not mad about blowing it up, but I'm still annoyed because we're the third biggest market, still depending on the draft, like a savior is coming. But I'd say with how wide open the East is, now's the time to double down on talent, not get less talent while the East is weak as it's been in years. It hasn't been this weak since LeBron dominated it for 8 years. It is very weak right now, and we can take advantage of it. How? I don't know. That would be up to the front office, but it's going to take a lot more than just keeping this core together to get better. If we can find a way to add just one legit star, I think we're fine. I'm not saying it's championship, but I say it's top 6 in the East. Will we? Probably not, because look at the front office and ownership. Can we?
So fellas, I've heard the rumor mill about, and tell me how you feel about this. Domantas Sabonis being added to the Bulls. That AK likes him, and he's a Euro guy. What would Domantas Sabonis in a hypothetical scenario being added here do for this team?
allow other teams to score 122 points a game instead of 115 points a game. That man plays no defense. That man stats his pads like that. Remember when Kevin Love was on T-Wolves and he would tap the ball like 4 times to get 4 rebounds? I've never seen so much stat padding in my goddamn life. Yeah, all he brings is stat padding. And don't get me wrong, he's legitimate in the post, but he's not moving the needle as far as impact play. There's stat pattern.
I gotta agree. Any love for Kuminga from the Warriors being added here? I saw that floated about.
I'm not mad at that because
I'm not mad at it either.
If there's a reverse Patrick Williams, because Patrick Williams can't score, but he's supposed to have all this good team. Kuminga is the exact opposite. He doesn't care about defense, but he will give you 20 points in 20 minutes. And I'd rather have
First
that.
of all, I haven't seen this great Patrick Williams defense that he was supposed to be billed at. I don't know where he's a very average defender at best to me. At best, he's average.
But I'm not mad at Kuminga either, also because of the cost. Kuminga won't go for a lot. Sabonis will. Kuminga, I doubt does he even make $15 million? So I like the Kuminga adage because of the cost, and we know what he is. He is a inside.
You got a problem spending money now?
Forward scorer that will. You said what?
Right.
You got a problem spending money now?
He wants to save all the money for Giddey. He wants to save all the money for Giddey.
You got a white boy savior complex right now. What's going on with you? What's happening?
Again, free agents and what the Bulls have been doing the last 4 years, he fits that cost range.
What's happening? We can't play the black players, but we can definitely pay the white players.
You don't want to pay Coby White, who's become a very good shooter in this league, and a league that's put a premium on shooting, but you want to pay the guy who's doing what every other guard that comes out the league doing and being ball dominant and piling up assists and rebounds. If you're going to criticize the bonus for stat padding, then you need to take a closer look at Giddey, because I don't know if any of them numbers are impactful or helping to win. I know you want to credit him with getting OKC 57 wins last year, but I'm here to tell you that was not a result of Giddey.
It was not. And again, there's not many of the players that were mentioned previously are truly that impactful, if we really talking about it, especially on the Bulls roster. You're not taking any of the guys that was just named, putting them on the Bulls and taking them from play-in to top 4 or 5th seed without all of the other issues that you mentioned from other teams, Boston's injuries, and their potential having to break up some of their
JJ3. I'm looking at the reflection on Harry's glasses. He's in them Instagram DMs right now. It's
not my fault. It's my goddamn Explore page. It's the damn Explore page. You gotta look hard. You go to John Giddey and say, "Oh shit, who is that? Where is that?" And I click on it, and it's like, is she from Chicago? Oh my god, and she is from Chicago. Let's go.
I told you, fellas. We're gonna wrap this up. It's been a good episode. I want to get y'all closing arguments. Harry, what do you want to see the Bulls do or accomplish in the upcoming offseason and upcoming NBA season?
The perfect world, I want to see Giddey and Coby go for a very short contract, maybe 2 years. I honestly don't care what it is because it's only 2 years anyway. And then I want to see them trade for one of those available to trade free agents that are legit. I don't want to see a Bradley Beal.
A Giannis, a KD?
A Giannis, a KD. I might even go Harden, but I'm not willing to go that far. But he'd be far better than what we've had. But there's a lot. Jaylen Brown, if he's available, because Boston is gonna clean house a bit, and I think they're gonna keep Tatum. They're not keeping Tatum and Brown. That's almost $700 million between two players. That's almost $700 million between two players. So in a perfect world, I see us keeping Giddey and Coby on a short contract. Maybe we do trade Vukovic and go after the Capellas or the Nas Reeds, and then we bring in one legitimate borderline or legit superstar to be that prime guy that we kind of build around. I'll just say Jaylen Brown, for example, and I think we're good to go there. I mean, it's not great, but I think it puts us at like the 5th or 6th spot. That's my wish list. That probably won't happen, but I'm okay with that.
JJ3, what do you want to see the
Well,
Bulls do this offseason and this upcoming season? What do you want to see them accomplish as far as direction, personnel, anything?
well, yeah, I've been pretty clear on the direction that they should take and need to take. Burn it all down, take a flamethrower to everything and everyone in the United Center. I don't want no casualties though, but burn it all down to the ground, start it over from scratch. I would be personally, I can keep Coby, I can keep Buzelis, and every other player on the roster can find a new area code and zip code to handle their business in, for me personally. Ideally, in a perfect world for Harry, yeah, we can trade for Kevin Durant or Giannis or something like that, and all of a sudden the Bulls will skyrocket. But that's not realistic, given the current assets on the team and the current front office that you have. So the only other option you have, start over. That's what I want to see.
I'm in 100% agreement with JJ3. I want to see it started over. It's going nowhere. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of being in the play-in. Let's just bottom out. Let's have 2 or 3 years where we finish top 5 in the draft, and hopefully we land another D Rose type, another stud we could build around.
It's frustrating because this could have been the year. One game. You missed it by one game.
One game. Pisses me off. Triggers me.
When is the last white player from Duke done anything? Like, I think Cooper
You didn't
Flag
have
is
to
never.
draft him. So if you don't have any
Dylan
faith in
Harper's
Cooper
there.
Flag, cool, but you don't have to draft him.
Get
You
Ace
could have drafted
Bailey,
other
get
players.
Dylan Harper, get Ron Harper's son, or trade the pick.
Or trade. You could have, and if you decide to go that route, you could have traded the pick and get a Giannis or a Kevin Durant or whatever. If that's what you wanted to do, you have the assets to make that happen. The Bulls don't have the assets really to trade unless you're going to trade your next 4 or 5 draft picks in the first round, first and second, and do a bunch of pick swaps. It's not smart.
The Bulls' only valuable asset to trade right now is Coby White and Buzelis, and those are the exact assets you're trying to see develop. So you're in the same position. If you wanted to acquire a good player in this league, you'd have to deal one or both and your draft, and then you're back to square one because you have nothing around that good player. So the Bulls are in hell. I just want to get out of hell.
Facts.
Well, we'll see what happens, but we have complete opposite takes on this because, damn you, Reinsdorf. Yeah, that's all I got. We actually every Bulls podcast should end in damn you, Reinsdorf.
Damn you, Reinsdorf.
Damn you, Reinsdorf.
It definitely should. Well, let's end this one with a damn you, Reisendorf. See Red. I'll holler at y'all. We out of here.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say 3 things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.